Okay. Here is the subject, Sheikh, and allow me to drive it this way. Um, Using terminologies like Najdi, Athari, Wahabi, you know, especially when it comes from someone who claims that he is really trying to be with the bulk of the ummah. You know, that I want to, I don't want to divide. Your approach is dangerous because it divides, but then he labels Najdi. What is your take on such terminologies as Muslims? Should we use this, identifying people in this manner?
Well, there's a place for labels. When the Shia were appearing, when the Ibadiyya or the other various groups, Khawarij, etc., appeared, labels were put on them to identify them as having broken away from mainstream Islam. So the idea of putting those labels is not in and of itself bad. However, when others who seek to split up Muslims use those labels, like Wahabi, this was invented by the British. The British, in dealing with the so-called Wahabi movement, they utilized this terminology and spread it amongst the colonies, and basically warn people away from the Wahhabiyya. So they're the ones who came with the Wahabi. Because nobody ever called themselves Wahabi. Simply because they were following the teachings or the advice or the guidance provided by Muhammad ibn Abdul Wahhab. The people who followed him call themselves muwahhidun. They call themselves monotheists, or Unitarians. They didn't call themselves Wahhabis. So where these terminologies are used in a derogatory way, then these only seek to confuse people more, because then it becomes a label when you ask people, okay, so what is a Wahhabi? They'll say, well, the common person will say, these people, they hate the Prophet, sallallahu. They curse the Prophet. They got things, So that's what is repeated, and that becomes the label which covers all who challenge the status quo. What has become a norm in different parts of the Muslim world, where people are involved in saint worship or grave worship or any of these other things. Anyone who now stands up and says, no, you shouldn't do this, they say, you're a Wahhabi. This is Wahhabis. It becomes the catch-all slogan or label, which is used to prevent those who are trying to make correction in the society, those who are trying to bring people back to the Sunnah, to label them in a negative light so that people won't listen to them.